Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to our English class. I hope you all are very well, very good. Okay. So we in the last class we already started our new chapter, Gulliver's Travel. We read 2 pages. I hope all of you read that pages. So now we continue the lesson, Gulliver's Travel. So all of you take your book. Page number is 117. He called his friends and gently placed me on the ground. Here, Gulliver. Gulliver. Uh, he called his friends and gently placed me on the ground. That he is that monster. That monster or that giant man. That man called his friends and he kept Gulliver in the ground, in the ground. They all sat on the ground to take a good look at me, and they all sat around him to look. Uh, uh, they all that giant, that monster and his friends sat around him and look carefully. That means they all are very surprised to see just like a tiny man. For them, it's just like a ant. It's just like an ant. Or it's a tiny man. So they all are very curious to see Gulliver. I walked slowly backward and forward, pulled off my hat, and made a low bow towards the farmers. I tried to speak to them loudly in several languages. Here, Gulliver walked forward and backward and removed his hat and bowed his head, and he tried to talk to them in many languages. But they couldn't understand him. They are unable to understand his language, his sound. Each time I did so, the farmer who picked me up held his picked me up held his ear very close to me, but in vain. Here, for them, that sound of Gulliver is it's not clear. That sound is very low for them. For that monster, that Gulliver's sound is very low. So that man is picked the Gulliver and held his ear. That means he take him into his near to his ear, but his languages are not clear. In vain means not clear. The farmer took me to his house and placed me at some distance on the dining table, which was 30 feet high from the floor. Yeah. After that, the farmer brought him to his house and placed him on the dining table, which was 30 feet high from that floor. Can you imagine it? 30 feet high? Yeah, 30 feet high. I think it's just a 3-story building, or I think that much height. Okay, that man placed him on the dining table, and which was 30 feet high from the floor. Dinner was brought for the farmer in a dish which was 10 feet in diameter. The farmer's wife crumbled some bread and placed it before me. Here, the farmer wife brought the dinner for that farmer in a dish that diameter was 10 feet. Diameter was 10 feet. That means it was a very huge dish. It's very large one. And that farmer's wife crumbled some bread. That means crumble means he give some crumbled pieces, or small piece of bread, and placed it before him, and give it to Gulliver to eat. In the middle of the dinner, I heard a noise behind me. It was the purring of a cat that was 10 times larger than an ox. Here, when Gulliver was having his dinner, he heard a noise of a cat, which was that cat was 10 times larger than an ox. The farmer's wife was stroking him, then entered the farmer's 1-year-old son in the arms of a lady. Here, then an old lady came there with a baby, with a 1 year, the farmer's 1-year-old son. On seeing me, the child grabbed me from the table and put my head into his mouth. Here, the child saw Gulliver. He grabbed him. That means he took him. He took that baby. That a child took Gulliver and put his head in his mouth. That means he thought that it may be. The child thought that it was a toy. It's a toy. So he put it in his mouth. On seeing me, the child grabbed me from the table and put my head into his mouth. I shouted so loudly that the baby dropped me. Here, on that time, Gulliver shouted loudly. To heard that sound, the child got shocked and dropped Gulliver down. I would have broken my neck if the mother had her apron under me. Later, she put me on her own bed and covered me with a clean white kerchief. Here, then the lady, that means that monster's wife, put Gulliver in her own bed and covered him with a clean white handkerchief. That's enough. It's like a blanket for Gulliver. Their handkerchief is a blanket for Gulliver. He, he covered that Gulliver, that lady put her Gulliver in her own bed and covered him with that kerchief. And here I slept dreaming of my home, my wife, and my children. And Gulliver slept and dreamt of his home, his wife, and his children. Okay, this is the story of Gulliver's Travel. It's a very interesting one, is it? It's adapted from Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travel. I know all of you like this story, and you have to read this. Read the lesson, and enjoy the lesson. Okay. Our next exercise, let's write. Look at the following examples. I was trying to climb over the fence when the giant saw me. Look at this sentence. Here, on that sentence, they highlighted the words was trying and when. Here, I was trying to climb over the fence is the main clause. That's the main clause. When the giant saw me is the subordinate clause. So we divide the sentence into two. The one is the main clause, another one is the subordinate clause. And the main clause is I was trying to climb over the fence. That main clause they used on which tense? Was trying. Was trying is the past continuous tense. That means was the main clause It is said in was plus verb plus ing form. And that subordinate clause. How we know that's a subordinate clause? Because they used when. Look at, they highlighted the word when. So we can understand that's a subordinate clause. On that subordinate clause, they used simple past tense. Simple past tense, which is that verb. Look at that verb of that sentence. When the giant saw me. Here, saw. Saw is the past tense. So, on the subordinate clause, we use simple past tense, and that main clause, please use past continuous. Look at the second example. The farmer's wife was stroking the cat when her 1-year-old son entered. Here, the first main clause, the farmer wife was stroking the cat. That main clause, was stroking. Was stroking is the past continuous, and the subordinate clause, when her 1-year-old son endured. Here, endured is the verb. That verb, it's on which tense? It's a simple past tense. Endured. Okay. Now look at that exercise. So look at the exercise. First one is, I was writing a letter. So you have to find out the suitable sentence of that. So here, I was writing a letter. It's a main clause. So and on that next on that B section, they given also we have to change into a subordinate clause. So here, how can we make it a subordinately clause? To add when. So I was writing a letter when my pen ran out. When my pen ran out. Second one. Paul was looking out of the window. Paul was looking out of the window when he noticed a lovely butterfly. Then here the next one is, when I met Arun. Here look, here that on that first section they given he was looking for his dog, and they start that sentence because it's a you can change that order. So we can write, when I met Arun, he was looking for his dog. The next sentence also, I was just completing the last answer. So we can write, when ma'am said stop writing, I was just completing the last answer. Okay, when ma'am said stop writing, I was just completing the last answer. Then the next one is, the man was painting the wall when he fell off the ladder. Then sixth one, Amit was doing his homework when the lights went out. My mother was cooking dinner when the bell rang. Clear? Second exercise, now complete the following suitably. Here, it's just a model. I given the answers as just a model. You can write your own sentences. It's no problem. But you have to remind it. Just notice that if you write your own sentences, you write in a simple past. Okay. First one is, I was sitting in a taxi yesterday when I saw my friend. Or you can write, I was sitting in a taxi yesterday when rain started. Okay. Second one, he was cleaning out of his cupboard when he found the key. Or he was cleaning out of his cupboard when he found his pen. When he found his album. Just like that. Then, dash a dog ran out onto the road. So when I was passing the street, or when I was driving, a dog ran out onto the road. Then dash the teacher walked into the room. Here, the bell rang when the teacher walked into the room. Or you can write the boys were quarreling. The boys were quarreling when the teacher walked into the room. Okay. So you read the other three examples. Now look at that exercise. Now complete the following in the same way using the words easy or strong. Here, skipping is easy. That's a normal sentence. Skipping is easy. Jumping is dash than skipping. Here, they given two games, jumping and skipping. So it's a comparative. So what we do? So what we add? Here we add er or more. So we can write jumping is easier than skipping. Then look at the third one. Walking is the dash of all. Here, it's of all. Here they compare to a group or all. So on that time you add est or most. So walking is the easiest of all. Okay. Next one. The dog is strong. It's normal sentence. Then horse is stronger. Okay. The elephant is strongest. Okay. So you can look your textbook. They already given some example. The best example is the sailboat is fast. That's a normal sentence. That normal sentence we can say it a positive sentence. That the sailboat is fast. The next one is the car is faster than the sailboat. Here it's a comparison. There is a comparison. Here they compare the two things, car and sailboat. So they used er. The car is faster than the sailboat. Look at the third sentence. The aeroplane is the fastest of all. The aeroplane is the fastest of all. Okay, clear? Then they given difficult, more difficult, and most difficult. Sometimes we can't add in some of the words we can't add er or est. On that time we use more. In comparative we use more. In superlative we add most. The difficult in the word difficult we can't say difficulter or difficultest. Can we say that? No. We can't say that difficultest. No. So what we do, we add more or most. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Here, look at the next exercise. When we compare two things or people, we add more or we add er or more to describing a word. When we compare three or more things or people, we add est or most to the describing word. Here, when we compare two things, if you compare two things, add er or more. For example, I say that, for example, is that my pet is more cute than yours. Here I comparing my pet to your pet. So here what I add? Here I add more cute. Look, here I add more cute. My pet is more cute than yours. Okay, but if we compare more than two things, more than, that's a 3 or 4, or when we compare it to group, that time we add est or most. My father is the best man in the world. Most of your children are always said that, is it? My dad is the best dad. You said no? Then my mom is most beautiful woman in this world. There is no we compare to this world, or we compare more than two. Okay, that time we use most or est. Then punctuate the following sentence using capital letters, full stops, commas, question mark, apostrophe, exclamation mark whenever necessary. So it's a very easy one. I know all of you know how to punctuate the questions, the full stops, the commas. That's it. So look at that on the first. Dear Samir, here that dear, we know that when we write, when each when every sentence begin with a capital letter, especially the letter. Hmm? So here they given D is a small letters. We change that into capital letter. So dear and Samir. Samir is a name. So S also change into capital. So D and S. Dear Zamir, I no yeah. So it's a I is in a small letter. So write in a capital. I am sending you a photograph of my newest pet. Pet. That one sentence is complete there. So you have to put a full stop. So my of my newest pet full stop. So look at the next exercise. Now complete the following the same way using words juicy or exciting. Here apple. Apple we can say juicy. Orange comparative. Comparative we can say orange juicier. Sugarcane juiciest. Okay. Now rope climbing. Rope climbing. There's some spelling mistake is there. It's not exciting. It's exciting. It's a spelling mistake. So the first one is rock climbing, exciting. Then skiing, more exciting. River rafting, most exciting. The fourth exercise, correct the using of the describing words in the following sentences. Here, some errors are there, so you find out and correct it. So look at the first sentence. This is the simpler problem of them all. Look, they highlighted the word simpler and of them all. And it's a, we know that ER. Yeah, it's an ER. So we know that it's a comparative. When we ER used in comparative, when we compare two things, that time we use ER. But look at this sentence. This is the simpler problem of them all. It's here. It's not a two things. It's more than two things. Other. It's all. So here we have to use est or most. So the answer is this is the simplest problem of them all. Clear? Look at the next one, which is the lightest of the two parcels. Huh? So here of the two parcel, they comparing two things. If we comparing two things, what we add? We have to add er or more. So the mistake is lightest. So we have to change that lightest. The answer is which is lighter of the two parcels, which is lighter of the two parcel. Then third one, he is clever than I am. Sorry, cleverer than I am. So the answer is here we are not say cleverer. We only say more clever. Okay. He is more clever than I am. Okay. Now fourth one. I like this the best of the two. Here again it's two things. Like two. They already given two. So we know that it's a two things comparison is there. So we have to change the best. The answer is I like this better of the two. Fifth one, the flood became badder as the rain increased. Yeah, so badder. Here it's we are not used badder. That a comparative form of bad is worse. So the answer is the flood became worse as the rain increased. Frisky. Here again that new sentence begin. The second sentence start. So that F and at the same time Frisky is a name. So you have to change that they into capital letter. So F is in a change into capital letter. Frisky is a bulldog and a very playful puppy, full stop. Then by change B, change into capital letter by next summer he should be old enough to go with us on our long walks, full stop. I am I make it a capital letter, and here it's a short form. They used a short form. I am. It's a short form. So after I, you just put an apostrophe. I apostrophe am. It's a short form of I am. I'm sure you are looking forward to seeing him. Full stop. I know, I know you will like him. Full stop. Okay. Warm regards. That W and R change into a capital letter. Okay, clear. Now that punctuate the following sentence, the next exercise also there that you try to do yourself, then check the answers. I hope all of you understood that comparative and superlative. Then was when was that form of when and I was trying, then when, where we use that past continuous and the simple past. That's all. It's a very easy one. Just just go through that 2 or 3 times. Huh? Okay. Then let's find out that one more exercise is there. Let's find out that you can do it yourself. It's a very easy one. Okay. Okay, my dear students. So next week I will take an exam paper, test paper of this lesson, Gulliver's Travels, question answers, and grammar section also. So study well. Thank you so much.